Hello and welcome to Mastering Mediocrity Music Reviews. I'm Jeff.
I'm Ben.
I'm Mark.
It was really fast. And we are here today to scrutinize, review, and we are here today.
We're
here today.
Would you say we're back
to attack? Yeah, a little bit. I don't think this guy would agree, fucker. Just kidding. Sorry, I love you. So we are here to review, scrutinize, and for me, and definitely for Ben, to celebrate the album by Majesty.
Back to attack.
Oh, come on, give me a little bit better than that.
Back to attack!
Yeah, well, no, it's not a hillbilly. I mean, all right. So, like, interestingly enough, until
wait, hold on. Before Jeff gets into this bullshit, we're gonna take these shots.
You're
Jeff,
part of this bullshit. Cheers,
Cheers.
That is good.
As we all fucking almost died.
Yeah. So what I want to say about this band is, if this band was an American band, I would be very much not shocked.
Band.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked because there's a lot of these like high-flying red, white, and blue type songs that I feel accessible in this. I mean, Age of Glory, Freedom Child. Like, I feel like this American. Nothing else is like nationalist type.
These are common. Not, I mean, I wouldn't say nationalism is per se like a common trope in heavy metal / power metal, but Jeff really just jumped into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. This is from Majesty's Wikipedia page.
Nice.
Majesty, also known as Metal Force between 2008 and 2011, is a German heavy metal band.
German.
Okay. They've been active since 2000. Their current members are, I'm going to ruin all these names, Tarek Magari, Robin Hadamovsky, Alex there is a letter in here that I've never even seen. We'll put a picture of it right there. Jean Raditz, Emmanuel Knorr. Okay, Emmanuel, I think I got yours pretty close. All right, okay. And I'm just going to read the first paragraph here from their history on Wikipedia real quick.
You can read.
Barely. Majesty call their music true metal, which is a common term in the heavy metal scene for traditional heavy metal or power metal with idealized, traditional, and fantasy-based lyrics and stage appearance.
Yeah.
And the band is usually dressed in leather. The band leader, Tarek, also organizes a festival called Keep It True. It is named after a song from Metal Force and features traditional heavy metal bands, blah, blah, blah. Often reunions are rare appearances of U.S. metal bands. But yeah, I would say that.
Definitely nationalist. It's like you're going to war.
Yeah.
Through a lot of these like epic kind of fantasy-based lyrical types. So there's definitely a lot of like pride.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say nationalism, but like
calls
unity.
For freedom.
Unity. Freedom and
like,
unity.
Yeah, like
community.
For sure.
I'm not going to get into the lyrics of the intro to this album. The Oath of Truth is the intro track, The Oath of Truth. And it just talks about how they've been away, but
you thought we were dead.
Yeah, it's like the prologue of a book,
right? And this is what I said. I said it's a cheesy intro, but I enjoy how earnest it is, and it's kind of like cheese and camp. And I've always liked that part of heavy metal or power metal, the leather, and the fucking gauntlets or whatever they're called. Like I fucking wear those. I call them power boosters when I work out. And
yeah, I mean, James Hetfield has one.
Yeah. I mean, I've always liked that style, but I've never wanted to dress like that necessarily or be like that when I go to shows. I always feel like, man, you guys look like dorks.
Yeah, I mean, how comfortable is leather?
Yeah, but look at you. You're a fucking man beast. But I mean, you would get away with it. Some of these guys are like scrawny 120 nothings, and they're wearing it like that.
Yeah, or 250 nothings.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I just always thought that part was cool, and so I really like these guys because they kind of keep that traditional imagery.
Oh, these guys have not deviated from the message at all.
Yeah, that like Dio kind of Judas Priest vibe that they, Dio and Priest started, and Hammerfall kind of is kept alive in the power metal.
Manowar.
Yeah, Manowar. I get real Manowar power or Hammerfall vibes from these cats.
Oh yeah.
So to me, it like hits all the right notes. You know, it's not trying to be anything special. It's not trying to be anything more than it is.
Oh, not at all.
I dig it. I really dig it.
All right, so to that point, like one thing that I definitely wanted to say.
Boys down there dreaming.
All right, so like one of the things that I wanted to say is like with Majesty particularly, if you don't like one of their best songs, you're probably not gonna like the rest of it because the formula is like here, like we have like this style.
For all bands though, isn't that kind of?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean,
like some song or some bands, like things from one song to the next is pretty different. But this one is like, and we always kind of talk about this how like we've got a lane. And we stay in it, like Sabaton and shit. They kind of stay in their lanes.
They haven't deviated from their lane. Like they're not pretending to be anything.
No.
Not.
Oh, you can go back like decades in their music, and you're like, that is Majesty.
Yeah.
Like it's like the menu has not changed. It's just been rearranged.
Like their lane is even tighter than some of those other bands.
Oh yeah, so
you gotta like that in a band.
I do.
Because
really
most of the time you find something like younger, or you find a band 20 years ago and you listen to it today, and they're nothing like they were when you liked them.
Yeah, they evolved maybe for the better or worse sometimes.
Not even the same music.
Yeah. All right. Mark, I want you to have the floor. I want you to have as much time
as you'd like.
Yeah. I want to hear what your thoughts were like.
I will say
your top 3, top 5.
I don't have a top. I have like a 2 that are notables.
I'm gonna pull mine up so I can see it.
They're notables.
Notables. Look, I don't like this genre of music, but I will say
you've got the floor.
I will say with Majesty, although they do have some speed, they typically kind of leave the speed in the drum lines. And the guitar and the rhythms kind of still stay and follow the vocals. So it's way more complementary as a song than what I've listened to with some of the other bands that like, especially when you get into speed, it just seems like it's speed for the sake of speed, and then the singer's singing over top of the speed. But it's not like cohesive.
Let him talk.
Like this feels like more like. It's been a long time since I played guitar, but this feels more like the main guitar that's following the singer stays with like the power chords or chords and follows his up and downs.
I feel
to maintain a kind of a unified rhythm. Where if you're wanting to catch that speed, you can catch it with like some of those drum licks. Through the chorus, through some of the solos and stuff.
I agree so hard.
Yeah.
It makes it way more. It makes it way more palatable for me. Like out of all the maybe it's just because I'm starting to listen to it now, but
how many times did you listen to this album?
2 times all the way through.
But you're still making me so happy with this observation.
This was way more palatable than I think just about any other power metal album I've listened to. Mainly for that reason is that the vocals and then the lead kind of melodies complement each other and follow each other.
Sing along.
They're very much that.
I want to cut in just a little bit there because like let's think about what you've listened to: Sabaton, Rhapsody. Hellfire,
Beast, Battle Beast,
like
or Beast in
those
Black
are kind of niche, except for Sabaton. I think is more overlaid than others. But
I feel like Sabaton is almost more niche because it's like, we're gonna only sing about history.
Yeah, I get that, but like the music, I think is palatable to a lot of people. But what you're saying to me is like this feels not diluted compared to some of the other more extreme things. Well, it's diluted. It's true metal. Like, I think like
just
true metal is
it's
like
just softened down enough that it makes it palatable for I think a wider range of audience.
Which I still don't get why they're not more popular.
I will say
I don't get
I'm
it
not
at all.
the biggest fan. I think the lead singer could be a little stronger.
No, he's right for the band.
I would say he's right.
It
doesn't detract from it, but I think if he had a little bit more.
I completely understand what you're saying.
Maybe could sing just a little bit better.
Not that he's
I'm not saying he's a bad singer. I'm not saying he's a bad singer. It almost sounds like he's like either flat or sharp through some of the songs. I wouldn't say all of them, but some.
I don't think they need a different singer if he were just slightly better.
Yeah.
I can appreciate.
But the sound of his voice, the roundness matches so well.
So that also makes it more palatable because he's not like. lot, or like
like an opera singer.
Wild. He sounds like a singer.
Yeah.
That has a range that isn't like and isn't like.
Don't be dissing like, my Amon Amar.
He's right in there, and it works for this band. But he could if he was a little bit better in some of the songs. I'm saying all.
I don't disagree.
It would be better.
His what I will call amateurish kind of vocal style, I think fits this band for all the reasons that we said. Like the guitars being simple and catchy and kind of like the formula and all this bullshit. But like if you were to look at their album titles, which you probably didn't get into. It looks like, Jeff, please don't take this the wrong way, because I find their album covers to be very charming, but it's like a drawing that Jeff would have done in high school of like a metal album, like, hey, I want
actually is a compliment.
Like no,
I've been playing Diablo.
Right, like
I've been listening to this music.
Right, like I want
kind of like naively dark.
Like,
it's like childish dark.
I want a muscular dude.
I know who I am, man. I know who I am.
Like, I want a muscular dude in a sword with long hair and like.
But I draw him with jeans because I didn't know how to do a historical pants.
Exactly, or like only from like the fucking.
I did so much of that. I mean?
Bust. But if you were to compare their album covers to how they sound, you're like, this is actually fits. Yeah. This is actually kind of perfect, because there's still that kind of, I don't know, garage band isn't the right way to just say it, but there's just like this. Hey, even though you look at their past members, there's like 7 past members. It still feels like guys who are just getting together in the garage
and having fun.
Yeah, playing power metal. Like, hey, we're just gonna keep this kind of pure. We're not going to try and say anything.
We're not going to add modernization to it at all. It's just going to be well mixed.
Yeah.
And like we'll have nice guitar and vocal harmonics at the right times. And to me, a lot of this is anthem style. Yeah. And they even say it in one of their songs. Glorious Warriors, let's sing our anthem or something. So good. So good. We got to get into the songs, don't we? Like
Mark,
the best songs.
Tell me your top songs.
Because I'm really curious.
In the intro, I listened to once. I was like, okay, it's worse. I'm going to do it again.
Yeah.
Second song comes in. Is that the title?
Back to Attack.
Back to Attack.
It might be the weakest song.
It's a little more epic sounding. Yeah. But then Demon War comes in, and I'm like, I can get behind this.
There's this nice little guitar.
I can absolutely get behind this. And it's just like it's like that big heavy power chord rhythm that it makes it more like a hard rock. Like you wouldn't be surprised to hear that behind like a part of a Korn song or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're ever in that like genre,
it's definitely in that rock.
Range. For sure. So that one was probably my favorite on the album. In the Silence is pretty good. For a slow song, I'd say out of all the slow songs I've heard on power metal, epic metal albums,
which one?
That was absolutely the best one. In the Silence.
That's
a pretty strong slow song for a power metal.
Yeah, I'm always like, man, I want to skip this, but then I'm never upset that I skipped it. Yeah.
Never upset that you didn't.
Oh yeah,
Freedom Child was pretty good. I thought Freedom Child was probably going to be one of your favorites because of some of the lyrics.
I think it is.
It's like, and fuck off and... I forget what he says, but...
And when they say that I can't retire, I tell them to fuck off and die.
Yeah.
I was like, you were complaining about lyrics about another band, and I'm like, come on.
This is Jeff's favorite song.
Yeah.
It's very close. I will say, I'm into... can I get into mine?
Those are my top 3 for
sure. So you have Demon War, which is a great song.
In the Silence.
And
then Freedom Child.
I don't necessarily agree with In the Silence. I get it. It's a great song, but to me, like that's probably like 6 or 7 maybe.
Yeah, I get that. But the more epic sounding songs, I can't get through that.
Oh man.
But some of the more hard rock sounding songs, I can listen through. But I would say I just kind of went for, my favorite of those. In the side, it's got to be the best slow song I've heard on an epic metal album, so I had to throw that in.
You haven't heard Christmas Truce, have you?
Well, I only heard what we got on the
so
podcast.
Good,
so
yeah, I don't know if you were in on that or not.
Listening,
Ben, tell them your top 3.
All right, so my top 3 were, Our Time Has Come. Our Time Has Come.
That was a good one too.
Glorious Warriors. And number 3 was a tie between A Hero's Storm And well, no,
number 3 is Hero Storm.
I had a tie between Glorious Warriors and A Hero Storm.
But that's such a weird.
And
that's just
Saviors
like such a
in
bubbly
the Dark,
song.
Saviors in the Dark. I have at 7.5. Freedom Child. I have at 7.5. So those are like kind of my top 3 and 4, depending.
And 5 and 6.
Yeah, because they're tied.
Like I heard a lot of
tied.
names in there.
They're tied. I think what was it? Our Time Has Come has like all the good things that Glorious Warriors has. You know, kind of like a catchy verse, kind of catchy chorus, catchy guitars, nice drums, and then what takes Our Time Has Come up is the guitar solo at like the 320 mark. I'm not sure if it's like harmonics or if it's or what the guitar technique is, like double stops or whatever the fuck, I don't remember. But the way they just like kind of go through that like descending line, like that's real high. I fucking love that part, and to me that takes it above all the other songs. I just wish they did it more, and that's generally my complaint about all this stuff. The songs that I like the most, I wish probably had like another chorus or 2. And then,
oh yeah.
See, I kind of like that about them though, that they pick and choose their speed moments and their solo moments. It's not every song.
Yeah.
Has a solo
For
that's
sure.
a minute long.
Yeah,
Not every song starts out.
Yeah.
It's just some of them.
Glorious Warriors is the one that starts out the fucking like most catchy though. You know, just the way like it just starts is just fucking awesome. But overall, I really enjoyed this album. I would probably give this album like an 8. Like a really solid 8, probably the most solid 8, maybe even an 8.5 since Jeff's kind of talking me into it. But like, I really enjoyed it. Jeff, let's hear it.
All right, so I think that the best songs happen one after the other, and it is.
Hold on. I'm pulling mine up.
I'm gonna tell you what they are, and they're right after each other.
All right, let's hear it.
So it's Glorious Warriors, Never Kneel, and Freedom Child. But
Mark, what were your scores for those real quick?
I didn't score individual songs.
Okay.
Yeah, I've kind of stopped doing that too.
I just gave my best,
do
it
so that I can actually have like a visual...
A comparative?
Yeah, like something so that I can kind of like quantify my tops 3 or 4 or 5.
Those 3 songs are on the playlist.
Okay.
And I mean, to me...
So that's 9, 10 range.
They're like all 9s. Yeah. And... I've gone through and I thought I settled on Never Kneel, and
I will say that's probably got the most catchy chorus. That's the one that I always find myself singing.
I love every moment of that song.
Yeah.
It's so... But like,
yeah,
Glorious Warriors is the anthem on the album, I think. It's like the most anthem, fist-pumping moment on the album.
You think?
And then Freedom Child
I'll give you that, Jeff.
is just so fucking good. But it's like, kind of that way the way I see it is Freedom Child is probably the most singable, and like it has this red, white, and blue freedom attitude to it, obviously. Sure. And it's just like, Ben gave me this album, and it's very rare where it's like, oh, I'm going to listen to all this. But he had primed me with Legend, or Legends.
We Are Legends.
We Are Legends. Which that song is fucking great.
I love that song. I probably send that song to Jeff like once a week, like as I'm going to the gym, and I'm like, bro, I feel like I can fucking lift the entire fucking
and he sent it enough times that I think it finally like hit, and I was like, I need to listen to these guys. And I listened to the latest album, and I was like, I like everything. For me on this album, there's nothing less than a 7.
I got a couple of 6.5s or something in there, but like, or maybe a 6, but nothing. Like the intro is a 6 or something, but nothing.
Like the intro is whatever, but the intro is great for what it is because it takes you into it. I think Back to Attack is probably the worst song on the album, but it's still a 7.
Yeah,
I still love it. Back to Attack. It's great. It feels a lot like one of the poorer Sabaton songs.
Yeah,
but I don't want to send.
It's a little corny. It's a little cheesy.
Yeah. All right.
But
now,
it does get better as you go through.
Another cool thing that I just want to say about this album in general is there's a lot of self-references. In the intro, it talks about Back to Attack, and then there's obviously Back to Attack itself, and then in Demon War they mention Back to Attack. And you have these other ones where it's like in you have Never Kneel, and then in Freedom Child it talks about never kneeling. There's a lot of like cool self-references, and I think it happens later on. But
it's building a true story.
At least you weren't like in Never Kneel. They talk about never kneeling.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like that would have been a really poor reference.
Talking about fighting demons.
But this whole album, I like every single song.
Yeah,
I mean it's great. It's like, to me, this is the closest that I've come to Grand Magus albums where I like just about everything on every single album that Grand Magus has. I really like Grand Magus.
I think we should do.
This is better. Grand Magus. We should do another Grand Magus.
I think it's your turn to pick an album.
It is. They're all good, and I think they're softer, so you might.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like be able to bridge the gap.
This is the best album.
This album's fucking awesome.
That I've listened to thus far in this genre of music.
I'm at like an 8.5, 8.75.
I'd give it a 7.5.
Nice.
I won't listen to any of this
again.
again.
Did you say 7.5?
Yeah. I won't listen to any of it again, but...
You say that, but
it
honestly,
wasn't... No, I mean, I will not listen to it. Yeah, I am saying
won't.
that because it's true.
I believe you.
I won't.
When both me and Ben are dead, and you're like, I might go back and listen to Majesty.
Like I could put it on, and I wasn't just like Jesus Christ the whole time.
These fucking retards.
These fucking retards just like, guys, I fucking hate this music so much. But I didn't have that feeling with a lot of the songs. There were a few in here. Anytime it gets like real epic, I'm like, this is just so fucking corny. I can't take it.
So this is like a hateful 7.5. I don't know.
What did you give it, Jeff?
I give it like 8.5, 8.75.
Okay.
Yeah, I just like I feel like it really needs a song that just defines itself, like where people are hearing it and like that is Majesty, and they're just not that big, so it's like it's difficult for me to feel.
Would you say there's a song from this album that could be like the what you put on the radio? Like,
no.
Is there a hit song? Is there one song on here that you would be like, this is the one they release to the public?
Nope.
I would say not either. There wasn't one big standout. It was all just pretty good.
Yeah. But like I'm under no delusions that power metal belongs on the radio.
Yeah. I mean that's fair.
But all right, Jeff.
Just makes me sad that power metal isn't on the radio. Yeah. If you liked what you saw here. Oh wait, we were taking shots. Sorry.
Shots, and then we got to pick an album. Do you want to do a grand?
I should have brought the wheel.
Oh yeah.
It'd be a good time to do the wheel.
There's a band, and I have a feeling that there is a chance that none of us will like this album, but I still want to do it.
That's the worst.
What genre?
Pop, experimental rock is what I would call it.
I'm down.
All right, let me look it up.
First. Is it a new album or what?
And it's definitely a band that it was just, I checked out like the recent releases. But I want to challenge us, so I really want to use this.
Something that we're all not used to listening to.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up being something that we're not used to.
Like, this fucking sucks.
What is it?
No.
This band's great. Their name is fucking Fingernails in a Box.
What?
5-finger fruit punch.
Let's do these shots.
Tell us the fucking...
No, we're going to do the shots and then I'll tell you, okay?
All right.
This is my show now.
Cheers,
mates. Cheers, mates.
Drunk.
Oh, God. It always gets worse, but that last shot was like way worse than the other ones have been.
It's still not bad. I mean, for shooting it all night, it's still pretty good.
Okay, so the band and album that I have chosen is Blur.
Yeah.
And the album is called The Ballad of Darren.
If this doesn't have the fucking song 2 on it, I don't want to listen to it.
I know what you mean.
Like, nobody wants to listen to Blur's 2020 release.
This is the 2023 release.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck. This is going to be so bad.
It may be a challenge, but sometimes you do what you got to do.
Do you know Blur?
Everybody song 2.
Yeah, song 2.
You know it. We're going
to... this is them?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I know this song.
All right.
I didn't know Blur was the name of the band.
If you like what you saw, hit the bell, hit the subscribe, fucking call your parents. Let's get the fuck out of here.
You're early.
I know, but I had to end it.
All right. Yeah, this album is gonna suck.